Brother L, Broadcast L, Apocalypse Now. Yeah, real. This is we. And GCP inspired me for real. Yeah. Tick, 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 booyah. With this writ, get flipped straight to no more crawling, no more screw up. Who was the amnesty of aid? Now me, I'm mine. God of my chest, I'm Lord of the mind. Let our government stand with the spine up. 100 men at the front line, stand 90 degrees. No fear for machine, man, it's supreme. We come again, feel you on your knees. I recommend that things be revealed. Don't shy at the end, cause we got no beginning but the woman. She not from here, baby. Check the moon or the tomb or the sun. How about all of the above? Tick, 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 booyah. It's time for we booyah. Here I descend from a prodigy to other me's. Cause of them, now I gotta be solidly. And I represent right, moving left. Fool everybody but the Moors, cause we made you. Son, I'm a star too. Forward of the L, right. Length with height. Home is the base, reach safe, bring your light. Runway the night, Drew circle the 7. Don't know, better start soon. Can't keep it real when your life in the cartoon. Everything came free, but nigga, it'll cost you. Get with your nation and stay stateless. 14th Amendment, pointless to argue. Time ticks down, you're getting this cheated. Fully mistreated, though steady, just reaping, not grown. Just bleaching what's on with up rooms. Wake up. Tick, 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 booyah! With this writ, get flipped straight booyah! No more crawling, no more screw up. Who up? Amnesty of age.
Backing up frauds with cards, national. In Northwest, some Ottawa's not my capital. Fez like a Merlin hat, I stay magical. Stand on your birthright square, they label you radical. Flow like libations, every day it's sabbatical. I self-law and master science mathematical. It's tragical, dramatical. This Moorish Othello, I rather black on black, I don't do black and yellow. Compass and square, fair trap, Masonic fellows and matrons. Slew them not just sodomites and pagans. Most maroons need to stop saying Jamaican and calling Euros American, they are Caucasian.
Me, I'm a 9, I try to make a 7 here, try to make a heaven here. Living in the devil's lair, freedom is a mental clear. Color is a spectrum, don't you see through spheres? Tunnel mind is a bridge and program over there. In the spell with the magi, media, playing good, but they really the bad guys. Feeling them, I'm reeling them. Cause I'm Moorish American, this is our land, and that's what we inherited. Tick, 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 booyah. With this writ, get flipped straight to no more crawl, no more screw ups. Who up? Yo. Yeah, it's me, Mr. L, Mr. Bro, Lord, Raw, Gal L. Yeah. Apocalypse Now. Watch the time tick, tick, then tick, booyah.
This is a homage beat.
It's hot, but get cold with this winter. My earth takes a break, quake cities off the cliff, down deep sea into mountain, continental shift. The continent could drown or rip. There's more. Think not, you don't know what I'm into. Where I'm at, it's all in the mental. Smash all instrumentals around me. It's all about my circle squared up with my nature. Fear not, love bravely. Am I didn't make her. She made me to create her will. The home she in, shape her skin, contain her frame, no minor. She a major win, angel and grew up educated on the demons, veiny, scaly wings, ranger paper bullshit, the mother for that. Got nothing to back, Negro black colored, on the chopping block, still on the block, chopping whatever they rap, rob, recover the chop, the world's shaking. Still my words just take it in, hear me speaking out your ear holes. How can you retain a quote? Stop, your brains bang, shot, but still you won't crow. Commander in chief. Masters turn sheep at the battle. They stay chattel to eat. And wolf from my wife beats. At times a werewolf, they attack me. I turn food for the garden. Cold water make a black sea. Black male, black coat, black blue. Black fish, black ball, black shoes. Black male, black cheese, black news. such thing as a black man. Black male, black coat, black blues, black list, black ball, black shoes, black bill, black cheese, black news, but no such thing as a black man. Roses all red, green, gun, copper shot, pop, bust, and he left, didn't leave no weeds, no seeds. I'm his skull and his backbone ripped with his voice tone. Moms are saying a heartbeat, consanguinity though. Constant bork bites, now I'm civil. I get you with my pen, no more dog fights or scribbles. Enforcing treaties, I'ma cost you greedy. Dressed in costumes to greet me. You think you know how this is gonna end? Really? Show the beginning. Apocalypse now, the dead don't know about the living. And why I can't kill them, and why I try to lift them. Stand, more mass don't make you a bigger man. It's mental. You just keep falling. Black male, black coat, black blue. Just keep black list, black ball, black shoes. Black bill, black cheese, black news. You just keep falling. Black man. Black male, black coat, black blue. Black list, black ball, black shoes. Black bill, black cheese, black news. But no such thing as a black man.
Here we go. Raka! North Star! That way. The North Star's that way. Canaanland Moors. Read off, we pay every day. Okay. Uplift the V cause we all base. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before is still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more ways. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules our verse. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. No, but Drew X, do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the highest authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Garvey, whirlwind times 2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the Moorish government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? That's not sense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
Death and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmec features, secrets of the afterlife, manifest the present day. Dirty Moors and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts, keeps awareness on point. Spirit messages never off. Inner realizations, encounter the higher selves. Next plane existence explains my consistence. Without a foe, you never know, so path most resistant. Divinity, my twin flame, side chick and mistress. Metaphysic, Kabbalistic, Almaroc mystic. Patriarch, papistics, make my thoughts sadistic. So indigenous, call me Americanistic. Invoking the ancestors, Cyrus and cryptic. Suns on rotation, flows ecliptic. Shatter all illusions, reveal the realistic. Sitting in the dark, holding the light marvelous. Recognize the artifice, skin so carbonous, hair so antenna. I feel them from Vienna, myriad of virtues, lessons in reptilian henna. Enlightenment seekers won't find it in mainstream. Focus as a laser, stay balanced like a beam. Not even a gymnast. Whenever I flip this, as above, so below, get out when within this. Don't think I'm a slave, cause I speak in English. Drew Ali the water, watch your flames get extinguished. Living in your higher, lower self is relinquished. Reputation of master teachers, call it distinguished.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Moorish Moor, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brain waves. Squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis. Niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DAR feminists. Stomped on by elephants. More like no prejudice but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the cold magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book called Maleficent. Great cosmic mothers. Return to blessedness. No pestilence. Ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance. Never to forget again. Use energy right. Not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions. Too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence. Burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars. It might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Peace, Moors, Islam, to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. We're here. Episode number 13. Q&A Wednesdays. You got questions? You could send it to Canaanland Guide gmail.com. You could also put it in the chat in all caps. We'll see if we get to it. But let's get started up, because you know we have no time to waste. It's Wednesday, 7:30. We got Rosmariah Bay. Got Rosmariah Bay classes, 7:30. Let's go to the homepage on rvbaypublications.com and get all the info that you need for that. Also, remember, support your own so they can support you. Support all the Moorish authors over at khalifamedia.com. And if you can, give yourself some assistance by assisting the first and probably only Moorish charity, Mercy Charities, MRCI Charities. I could give them some donations. Doesn't have to be much. Anything you give gets recorded. Gets recorded in the ethers. So Juali doesn't have to be burning money up in your pocket and all that because you wanna have some BS that you think you need. So our first question, of course. Our first question, is there any literature out there pointing to the forerunner Marcus Garvey having a L or Bay affixed to his name? Now, I haven't seen any literature with regard to L or Bay. I really haven't seen any literature, but we do have Marcus Garvey's works that we can go to Marcus Garvey's works and see where he was at. See where he was at in his mindset. Remember as well that after the sellout of Marcus Garvey, by his own, he got visited by Noble Drew Ali in Atlanta prison. I'm pretty sure if Noble Drew Ali visited Marcus Garvey, I'm pretty sure he put him on game with regard to certain things. Right? I'm pretty sure he put him on game. Now, because he was in prison, the impact of what was presented to Marcus Garvey by Noble Drew Ali might not have had the effect that it would have if he was out. But in the language, somebody told him something, or he was studying or something like that, because his language from these letters and his pardon letter and certain things that Amy Jack Garvey put in Philosophies and Opinions should be enough to have not just supporters of Marcus Garvey, but people generally look at him sort of differently, right? So this is Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, page 267. To prevent enemies of established order making capital out of the act of injustice, persecution, and prejudice, to inflame in the future and at the end of time of need the minds of millions of so-called blacks throughout the world against bureaucracy, oligarchy, imperialism, and capitalism, which may have a strong appeal in the light of history for the unfortunate and oppressed whom I am endeavoring to lead by a peaceful and friendly agitation for the reasonable return of their African heritage, to uphold the sacred principles of American justice for which the noble fathers of the Republic have bled and died, to uphold the undying and sacred words and declarations of Lincoln, that this nation, armed with the grand and marvelous achievements for human liberty and justice in the last couple centuries, will not allow itself to be inveigled into doing a grave wrong to one whose only crime is an honest effort to liberate his race by the creation of a new nationalism, and because of his attempt to lead the members of his oppressed race in this direction. That the Declaration of Independence may not be regarded in the future by Negroes as a selfish expression of a clannish group, but that its sentiments was intended to bless all humanity, including the future hope of the black race, so-called black race. When he's talking about the principles of American justice and the Republic and Lincoln and all that, right? That it's not some clannish group that put out the Declaration of Independence. It wasn't some racist KKK whoever's. Now, when you hear him speak like that, keep in mind of the other individuals who, all the other individuals who were in contact with Noble Drew Ali and certain things that they did. So if you look at, for example, Oscar de Priest, during the time of Oscar de Priest being affiliated with Noble Drew Ali, he had a constitutional campaign going on where he was stressing to our people the importance of them reading those documents, Declaration of Independence, Constitution for the United States of America Republic, studying those documents, not looking at it as this some white man and all that stuff. Look at it from the perspective of law. Don't look at it from the perspective of some emotions. Because some Europeans wrote it, you're gonna not even consider it. Right? And again, think about Garvey getting visited by Noble Drew Ali, and Noble Drew Ali putting him on game as to the missing keys, the things that he was missing in his, what did he call it? In his attempt to lead the members of his oppressed race in the direction of a new nationalism. That the effort of Lincoln to free and help the Negro in this direction will not be in vain. That the following declaration of Thomas Jefferson might not be worthless when the measure of their tears shall be full, when their groans shall have involved heaven itself in darkness. Doubtless a God of justice will awaken to their distress, and by diffusing light and liberality among their oppressors, or at the length of his exterminating thunder, manifest his attention to the things of the world, and they are not left to the guidance of a blind fatality. Because the Negro is not happy and will never be until he is restored to his own nationality. And my ability to continue my work in this behalf will bless the nation. For as Thomas Paine said, No man can be happy surrounded by those whose happiness he has destroyed. That I may be able to continue to serve the people of my race who believe in me, the efforts of my persecution notwithstanding, and who are watching with eyes of eagerness and keenness and minds of eternal record the so-called white man's sense of justice as practiced upon the unfortunate Negro who happens to be born and reared in an environment of American continental civilization, being a relic of a slavery imposed upon his forebears, without any argument of choice of location on their part, but by the sole desire of their masters to profit from their labor. That my being born on the American continent as a descendant of British colonial slaves does not bar me from the right of working for the release of my people in America and elsewhere to nationhood, but entitles me to be respectful hearing, entitles me to a respectful hearing with equal force of right as any so-called Negro who was only by accident born in the United States and not in the other colonies as my fathers were. Key point, because the Negro is not happy and will never be until he is restored to his own nationality. That's Marcus Garvey. So I don't know if there's anything out there with him having El Bay and all that stuff. I mean, I've seen, Moors throw it in there, in their trying to make Garvey a Moor or something like that, right? But the fact that he made that statement that the Negro is not going to be happy till he's restored to his own nationality, and the only individual who told us about our own nationality is Noble Drew Ali. I mean, he was onto something. He was attempting to let his people, the quote unquote Garveyites, know. He was attempting to let them know. And unfortunately, they got him out the way, so they didn't get an opportunity to know. Because they already know niggers don't read. Philosophy and Opinions is a pretty big book, and that's page 268. They probably didn't even get to page 30 of Philosophies and Opinions. And if they did get to page 268 and past page 268, it obviously went over their head because they're still talking about their Negro black color today. Now, the other side of it is that when we go to the Moorish, paradigm, we have Noble Drew Ali saying that Marcus Garvey is the forerunner of the Moorish movement. Now, he was calling himself Negro. And there were Moors around Noble Drew Ali, and he didn't even pick them. That should also let you know something. That he went to Garvey. He didn't even pick a proclaimed Moor. He said the guy who's calling my people Negro is going to be the forerunner of the Moorish movement. Right? No different than Noble Drew Ali select the humble and sincere Emile instead of Kirkman or Givens or anybody else who was an adept and they knew 50 languages and all that stuff. He didn't pick them to be his successor. He picked the Moor who was going to do right to be his successor. He picked the Moor that was going to do right. He didn't pick a proclaimed Moor to be his forerunner. He picked Marcus Garvey, who had Negro Improvement Association, even though Drew Ali said we're not Negro black colored and all that. Even though he said that, he still picked somebody who called our people Negro. Because what did Drew Ali tell these Moors? Some of my best Moors are where? In the church. And everybody knows Garvey was Christian. His religion was Christianity. That's who he was. He was repping for some Christian. So Drew Ali saw something in him by using him and calling him the forerunner of the Moorish movement. Plus, when you check the record, you realize that it was his movement and Garvey's movement that had the most people in the 1920s, as far as Asiatics are concerned. Garvey and Drew Ali both had a few million. They had a few million. And you think about Marcus Garvey. You think about Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali unifying their both movements. And every UNIA becoming a Moorish Science Temple of America. All the Garveyites, including Marcus Garvey, declaring their nationality, that they're Moors, and where we would be today. And then all the people who were supporters of Marcus Garvey, all the people who were supporters of Marcus Garvey, taking what Marcus Garvey learned from Drew Ali and then applying that to themselves, where we would be today. Which should open your mind to the fact of why they got Garvey out the way they did. Right? Kidnap him and then deport him. We're not releasing him over here. We're gonna deport him. He's a British slave. All right, we're gonna deport him to England. Let him go there and do his UNIA, whatever. But honors to the forerunner, Marcus Garvey. Oh yeah, and another side note to that too is another side note to that is Carlos Cooks. Carlos Cooks was head of the African Legion. And then as you can see, Carlos Cooks is over here, fez is up, leopard fez up. So if Carlos Cooks had the leopard fez, Drew Ali, calling him forerunner, Garvey talking about nationality, they were close. They were close. It was pretty much almost there. It was almost there. They were very close. Right? It was close. Let's get a better one. So you can see that he was fezzes up. Right. And this is 1960s. Keep that in mind too. Right, so honors to the forerunner, and honors to those who got the message of the forerunner, and did their best with trying to get our people in the right frame of mind. But honors. So I will that did some justice. The next question is: the Moorish movement taking sword to the fake leaders pushing the Black and African agenda of origin and badge of identity? For example, Umar, as he just recorded an interview saying the Pan-African movement is the only movement for Blacks. Many of the fallen follow this movement. So when we look at the Negro Black colored agenda that's been pushed, not just by modern Europeans, but also by our own, the Black identity, the African identity, back to Africa, etc. I talked about this in a chat in a live. I think this week. You didn't hear too many Moors putting the scimitar to these people, other than Cujo L. A lot of people, left traders, left the black stuff or whatever like that. But if you go to if you take a page. If you take a page out of Canaanland Moors, I just want to show you. So people can't say, well, why aren't the Moors doing something about whatever? Right. So if you go to the Canaanland Moors YouTube, and then you see we have a playlist right there. And in the playlist, we have Correcting Black History right here. I'm Not Black documentary. Canaanland MSTA versus other schools of thought. Unconscious Moors and Sports. And you keep scrolling down, and you have one here called Correcting and Addressing Moor Haters. And you got 99 videos in that one. Spanish Inquisition 2016. Israelites are Moors too. So in our correcting, we deal with pretty much whoever that tried to talk any type of crap against the Moors. Dane Calloway, Moors, Wonder Twins, Dagger Squad, Amin Ra Squad, there's a lot here. Umar, House of Consciousness, Moorish critics. We've addressed a lot of individuals who they were talking crazy about Moors. So when we say, is the Moorish movement taking sword to these people? Moorish movement has taken sword to these people. I was actually talking to one of the Moors earlier this week about, we started 2008. 2023, we're still here. When you go back to 2008 to now, see how many people popped their head out their hole and fell off, and you never seen them ever again. As soon as they bumped into Canaanland Moors, as soon as they tried to be slick, as soon as they played their little Negro black colored trolling games and all that stuff, and we start sending Moors to go do research, Moors coming back with people's baby mom pictures and their drunk uncle's address and all that stuff, and we start putting that stuff online. Since they want to talk crazy about Moors, and people disappear, immediately they stop talking. So it's not that it hasn't been done. It's not that it hasn't been done or it's not being done. Moors have been putting the scimitar to people for a long time. At least since we came into this, we gave Moors the kahunas to start calling out people, cussing them off and all that stuff, because people were playing this thing, well, Moors love instead of hate, and Drew Ali said intelligent tone and all that stuff. No, it was past intelligent tone. That was 1920s. Now you get bats to your kneecaps for talking crazy about Drew Ali. There's Moors that we had to tell them, no, don't worry, don't even go risk your life for these people to go snitch and call police on you or whatever like that, because some Moors take their birthright serious, and they don't play games with their birthrights. I've had Moors in the car outside of people's work. Like, I see him right now. Should we do something right now? Should we let's just put him in the trunk, drive him around, drive over some speed bumps for a little bit. Like, we're not even gonna do anything. They're not going to know. We're going to mask up and all that stuff. They're not even going to know who it is. No, leave those Moors alone. Let them rot when they leave this realm, because they will rot. Right? They will rot. And again, they tried all types of matters. We talk about the more Dolo, the more sending people to rub shit on our temple. Rubbing shit on the window, rubbing shit on the door handle and all that stuff. Finding dead rabbits in front of our temple. People throwing stuff through the window, big rocks through the window and all that stuff. Right? They've tried, but like Juali said, Allah guides this. This is not our stuff. We're not doing this for us. Allah told that Moor, pistol whip this goof. Allah told him do that. And then people got pistol whipped. This is probably 8 years ago. Moor saw Moor talking crazy about Taj Creek Bay. Just saw him. And he went up and he just gun butted him. Just because. You're not going to talk crazy about my master teacher. And dude was apologetic and all of that. Wasn't out of ego, arrogance, or whatever like that. But you talk crazy about someone's master teacher who, a lot of Moors if Moors knew that if I take myself out If I take myself out, Tashreeq Bey will be president of UDOT Corps. They'll take themselves out. The Moors, that if I know for a fact that the Moorish nation is going to rise, if I jump off this thing tomorrow, jump in front of a train, there's Moors who will go jump in front of the train to see the Moorish nation rise tomorrow just because they sacrificed. They knew everybody was going to be good. Everybody who proclaimed their nationality, automatically you get your check, you get your deposit, you get your whatever it is that you're owed in compound interest. Moors going to jump in front of the train tomorrow. That's how serious some Moors take this. This is real for some Moors. This is not just, some online thing. And again, Moors have checked people already. Not going to check people. Moors have checked people already. And people have yielded. I know personally Moors have checked people. And that's just for them talking crazy. They didn't even do anything. They just talked crazy in a chat, and they happen to be in the same territory as individuals. And when they saw them, it wasn't that talking crazy in the chat stuff. Like, all that stuff was done. When Moors ran up with them with the box cutter and all that, people were very apologetic for disrespecting the mothers. Very apologetic. Because they couldn't believe, because Moors are supposed to be about love and the 5 principles, and Drew Ali said, don't even carry a pocket knife and all that. No, not if you're messing with people's profit. Not if you're messing with what or who people hold dear. And a lot of these Moors, Noble Drew Ali saved a lot of these Moors' lives. A lot of these Moors were going down the one-way street. A lot of these Moors were going down the one-way street to nowhere. And then they found out about Noble Drew Ali. And they found out about their birthrights, and they started studying what this is about. And they found the right Moors who gave them this from the right perspective. And they became die hard for this. Nothing is happening. Moors, I've had Moors personally call me, like, Moor, that Moor that you were debating yesterday, I see that Moor on a regular. Like, I can go knock that Moor's door. I know his baby mom. I know his aunts, whoever. We can go check that Moor tomorrow. You sure you don't want anything? Because, Grand Sheik, we got you. Like, you're the Grand Sheik. We got you. You say the word, we got you. Leave those Moors alone, because you already know they're going to go snitch. That's why we go so hard. Chat muftis and all that stuff, and, all these videos dealing with dirty Moors cases, dealing with blacks cases, Negroes cases, Africans, Hebrews, NOI, whoever. It don't matter. Because we're not going to be a martyr for these ungrateful people out here. Not going to be a martyr for them. Not going to be sitting in some cell or whatever talking about, oh man, I shouldn't have kicked that dirty Moor's ass. I didn't know he was gonna fall on the pole when I kicked him in the face. So we tell Moors to yield. Don't worry. Allah's going to get them. Don't worry. Juali's got them from the soul plane. Their life sucks. That's why they're a Moorish troll. Their life already sucks. They already have baby mom taking them for 80 million. And, you know, they're mad. So they're not going to go take it out on her. You know, they're going to come in our chat and talk crazy and diss Noble Juali and talk crazy about nationality of the Moors and paper terrorists and whatever else. So yeah, they get checked. They get checked. It might not seem like anything, but trust me, these people know not to play with Moors. You know, they know not to play with Moors. Trust me, they know not to play with Moors. Right? We've had a good bit of Moors who are sincere and love their prophet and honor him and all that stuff, stand up for your nationality and your birthrights. You know, Moors have done it. So don't think because you don't see it that nothing is happening or anything like that. You know, Moors are active, not passive. Moors are active, not passive. Not all Moors are passive. Right? Like I said, Moors have gun-butted traitors before. Right? They have. Moors have ran up on people talking crazy. And they didn't have anything to say when they got run up on. Nothing to say. What happened to all that stuff we were talking about in the chat? Nothing to say. And then what happened? You just never see them in the chat anymore. They just disappear. Stop talking crazy. Right? In your opinion, why do the Moors have problems regaining their land back? The problem with gaining the land back is, one, going back to the Negro black colored agenda, with them not thinking this is their land, so they're not gonna fight for this because they think America belongs to some Europeans. And then them thinking that America belongs to some Europeans, then here we are. Right? Them thinking that America belongs to some Europeans, the Europeans are going to go with that. Right? They're not going to go against the grain. They're going to go with the grain. And there's more Negro black colored people than Moors. Conscious, awakened, proclaimed Moors. There's more Negroes. So they're going to go what the Negroes say. Right? The second part to it is that the modern Europeans, even though they don't have the land, but they don't have the land, everything they have is paper, or everything they have is on paper. Nothing they have is the land. The modern Europeans are master colonists. Right? They've been colonizing for a long time. Right? So from the perspective of longevity, they've been colonizing longer than we've been trying to regain land. So now they have that on them. So they have our people not thinking that this is their land. So now they can make claims, even though they're not claiming the land. They're just making paper claims. And then when they make paper claims, now the people whose land it is that are thinking this is not their land, they're going with the paper claims, like saying NY and ON and BC and all these fictions that are created. Now, when we look at Noble Drew Ali and what he was presenting, what he was saying was that once this European goes back home, mountains of gold will be revealed to the Moors, because you're going to have your land back. So it's not just, gold only, but all, everything that's inland is going to be yours again. But again, this European ain't going anywhere if these Negro black coloreds are still here playing there from Africa and all that. Right. And the regaining of the land is not something that can't be done. It's just like we say with the fraudulent contracts. If every Asiatic in the Americas tomorrow, when they got stopped, said, here's a right to travel, I don't have a license. Do you think they got tickets to give everybody? And then let's say they give everybody tickets and everybody fights it, and line is going around the court 5 times because everybody's fighting their ticket. You think these people aren't gonna say this stuff is over and go back to where they came from? If all these Asiatics listen to Moors, when Moors said, hey, you're not Negro, black, colored, we're Moors. And they stopped and they said, actually, hold on a second. You're actually right. I'm not black, I'm brown. And nobody ever calls me brown people when we get murdered in the street. They're telling me brown lives matter and all that stuff, marching up and down the place. We have a nationality? Well, hold on a second. Everybody else around me has a nationality. Where do I go to fix this error? We'd have the land back tomorrow. We wouldn't have to raise any arms or anything like that. We would just have the land back tomorrow. Stuff will be over tomorrow. Easy as that. But again, the work that they did on our people to have them where they're at in their mindset. So, that's why it's so hard for Moors to get the land back. Now, the other part of it is, Moors can just go 2 hours north, and the stuff that these people never touched in 100 years, land that's just sitting there that nobody's using, you go up. But then when you go up there, you got the tractors, you start bulldozing trees and starting to lay your stuff down. Obviously, here they come with their, trying to do their little domination thing, right? Because somebody's gonna say, hey, who are those people over there? What are they doing over there? Do they have a permit to do that? And then eventually, here come the highwaymen or whatever, and then, then are we prepared for that? That the highwaymen do show up. And let's say they do show up. And they start doing like how they do with the indigenous or whatever like that, laying down in front of our tractors and all that stuff. You guys aren't going to be doing this on our part. We're going to be willing to run them over and keep doing what we're supposed to be doing. So certain things are either before their time, right? Because we're just not prepared for it, or we don't have enough bodies to get certain things done. Right. Was Noble Drew Ali infiltrated by people belonging to Negro secret societies? Noble Drew Ali was infiltrated by people belonging to Negro secret societies. Noble Drew Ali was infiltrated by people who claimed to be Moors. Noble Drew Ali was infiltrated by people who weren't part of the Moorish movement, weren't part of secret societies. They were just dumb niggers out here wanting to cause confusion. Right? Noble Drew Ali was infiltrated by individuals claiming that they have some authority superior to him, like people like Abdul Bey TV, that they're gonna call themselves Bey and El and you know they're Moors and all that stuff, but then they're making up some fake stuff with some fake seal, making up some fake government, claiming that they're some authority when they just came 2020. They just came 2020, but there's some authority, not no Drew Ali who's been doing this thing since the mid 1900s, early 1900s. He's not the authority. But these people who just came yesterday, they still have on pull-ups as Moors, and they're talking about they got some authority somewhere. Right. No, so when and again, this is a perfect example. Just look at the responses from the Moors in the chat to this troll. Going back to the question, do Moors put the sword to these people? Just look at the muftis in the chat regulating this traitor that is part of some organization that has nothing to do with the Moorish movement, nothing to do with the Moorish nation, nothing to do with the Moorish Empire, nothing at all. Right? Because everybody knows Moroccan and Moorish are the same. So you're talking about Moroccan or you're talking about Moorish, everybody knows it's the same. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about America or you're talking across the Atlantic Ocean over there. As soon as you say Moroccan, everybody knows that's Moorish. As soon as you say Moorish, everybody knows that's Moroccan. Everybody knows that. So Noble Drew Ali was right and exact. But people don't want what Noble Drew Ali brought. Right? People don't deal with what Noble Drew Ali brought. If they wanted to deal with what Noble Drew Ali brought, we wouldn't be talking about it. Has more. Was Noble Drew Ali infiltrated? Damn right he was. And again, he was infiltrated by his own, because Europeans can't be members. Europeans can't be part of this. They can support it. You know, they can sympathize, but they can't be members. They can't be members of the Moorish nation. They can be naturalized because they're foreigners. But as soon as a Moor is telling you naturalize, well, you're black, so that means you have to naturalize because you're a foreigner. That's BS. These people aren't black. Our people aren't black. That's a lie. Right? That's a lie. Why do you think Noble Drew Ali told these same jackasses that the Moroccan Empire extended from northeast and southwest Africa across the Great Atlantis onto the present North, South, and Central America? If Noble Drew Ali said the Moroccan Empire extended to North, South, and Central America, then how is America not Morocco? If the Moroccan Empire extended to over here, this is basic common sense. But people don't want to use their common sense. And so because they don't want to use their common sense, then Europeans ruling still. Just for them not using their common sense. That's why Drew Ali said, think and save yourself. All you have to do is think. And all these people who are playing, create some fake thing. All they got to do is think, hey, Noble Drew Ali said, we're descendants of Moroccans born in America, so we're Moorish American. So if we're descendants of Moroccans born in America, obviously America is Morocco. This is not hard to figure out. People make this hard. Why they make it hard? Because their job is to cause confusion. That's their duty. Confuse people. Is there an esoteric reason Noble Drew Ali started in Newark, New Jersey? I don't think it's esoteric in that aspect. But the other side of it is we know that he came into opposition in Newark, New Jersey, and then that's why he went to Chicago. Right? But with regard to Old Canaanite Temple and all that in Newark, the origin story of Noble Drew Ali is very vague. All we have is what Noble Drew Ali left. That's all we really have. And he already told the Moors that, hey, I'm not even going to let these people know where I'm from and all that stuff for them to make a shrine out of it like they did with Mary and Joseph. So you're not getting that part of his life. And then his traveling part of his life, you're not getting that. So all we have is these pictures, first convention, Noble Drew Ali being the prophet, in the chair with the purple ethers in the background and all that stuff, right? That's what we have to deal with regard to Noble Drew Ali. Oh yeah, and then we have Professor Drew, the Egyptian adept, which that was, that time, Newark, New Jersey, before the fez and all that stuff, before the turban, when he was just an Egyptian adept. Right. I would say the esoteric reason would be more Drew Ali going to Chicago. I'd say that's more the esoteric side of it, or the divine side of what we're doing. Because if you check everybody else, after Drew Ali, everybody else started making Chicago their Mecca. The tech people made Chicago their Mecca. Drew Ali was saying Chicago their Mecca. NOI made Chicago their Mecca. Should people honor or worship Noble Drew Ali or both? People in general, not just Moors, people in general should honor Noble Drew Ali, just like they honor anybody else out there who's Asiatic and did something special. How people treat El Hajj, doesn't matter who they are. You say El Hajj, Malik El Shabazz, oh yeah, and everybody knows. Is it Marcus Garvey? Oh, everybody knows. Say Martin Luther, everybody knows. Say Whitney Houston, everybody knows. It's not a question. And they're gonna sing some lines and all that stuff, and they remember where they were when her and Bobby and all this stuff. It's the same stuff with Noble Drew Ali. Should be standard across the board that people know him and his greatness. Right. And honor over worship. It's not a worshiping thing. It's a give respect where respect is due. He paid his dues. He brought us out of darkness into the marvelous light. Well, the ones who wanted the light. He brought us out of the darkness, which was the blackness. He brought us out of the dead status into the in full life status. This is what Noble Drew Ali did. Right? If that European in the Moorish oral statements, if that European could come to the temple to tell Noble Drew Ali, hey, thank you for telling me to take my money out the bank because the stock market's going to crash. That means people were listening to Noble Drew Ali who weren't even in the temple or weren't even Moors. His message was getting out to people. His message was getting out to people. So if his message was getting out to people like modern Europeans, then there's no reason why Asiatics shouldn't be getting down with the program. There's no reason Europeans shouldn't be getting down with the program, or Asiatics shouldn't be getting down with the program. Because Europeans were down with the program, right? Negro, black, coloreds were down with the program. All right, let's just check. Many delegates from temples attend the annual convention of the Moor Science Temple of America, October 14th at Unity Hall, 3140 Indiana Avenue. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder and head of the body, will preside over sessions which close Saturday evening. More than 1,000 delegates from 15 temples in America were reported present at the meetings. Following the registrations at headquarters Monday, reports were read from two Grand Governors, T. Crumbie Bay, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Lomax Bay, Detroit, Michigan. Tuesday evening, the welcome address was delivered by Alderman Louis B. Anderson. Other speakers were Oscar DePriest, Dr. Roman Mahari of the Medical College in Nashville, Tennessee, Attorney George W. Blackwell, Aaron Payne, Richard Ross, Claude D. Green. People down with Noble Drew Ali's program. People were down with his program. The problem was the Asiatics who weren't down with it. Right? So, supreme honors to Noble Drew Ali. No worship. No worship. Yeah, you have a shrine and all that stuff with Noble Drew Ali on it, that's honors. Yeah, you say Noble Drew Ali's name every day, 50 times, because that's your prophet, that's honors. You have a picture of him in your wallet, that's honors. You read your Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple every day, that's honors. You say your prayer more than 5 times a day like the Muslims, more than 5 times a day, not merely 5 times a day praying, but if you say your prayer more than 5 times a day, that's honors. That's not worship. My son would like to know who told you that you were a Moor. The first person to tell me that I was a Moor was Dr. Malachi York L. Because at the time, this is probably early 2000s. Early 2000s? Yeah, this is probably about early 2000s. Studying under Nwapians. There was a newspaper called Nwapian Moors Newspaper, and there was an article in there. I'll try to hunt it down one day. It's somewhere here. There was an article in there about Moorish names. Yeah, there was an article in there about Moorish names, and on my father's side, the last name has the MC in it. So he was talking about the MC meaning Moor, and anybody who has this name MC, or the name with MC, that they are a descendant of the Moors, because MC is, ties back to the Moors. And then it made sense to me because at that time, well, all my life, whenever I bring up the last name, is all my life. Like, ever since I can speak, right? Fluently, so teenage, preteen to high school and all that. Every time they see the name or they hear the name or I say the name, they say, that's a Scottish name. You're not Scottish. That's a Scottish name. You're not Scottish. You don't look Scottish. No, and then we go into the slave master, right? And you realize that, the name was a compound name, the MC, and then there was another part to the name. So the other part of the name was the European part. Right? This is doing the research and realizing, but still it didn't really register that I have to proclaim that. But I knew that having the MC meant that I was a Moor. Right? Having the MC meant that I was a Moor. This is according to Dr. Malachi York. And then after that, it was Umar Shabazz Bey, We Are the Washita, from his lecture that he did out here. And then it was Alim Bey. And then Alim Bey was when it actually registered that, yes, I'm a Moor. And then in order for me to be a Moor, I need to proclaim that. I need to declare that. I need to have some paperwork or something like that saying that, or they're going to keep thinking that I'm Negro, black, colored. So the spark was Dr. Malachi York. The inspiration or the resurgence was Umar Shabazz Bey. But the actual, yes, this is who I am, and I need to do something about attaching myself to the Moorish paradigm, the Moorish nation, Moorish nationality, whatever, was Alim El Bey. And then the rest is history. Right. So we will, let me just go to this chat, see if anything worthy, any worthy questions in the chat. Let's see. The trolls are in there today. What is the modern name for Moabites? Answer: Moroccan. Yeah. And what are descendants of Moroccans? Moorish American. That's what Drew Ali said. And we're riding with Drew Ali. We don't care what any of you online people say about Morocco's not America and all this stuff. We know that we're Moorish American. We know that we're tied to this landmass. We know we're tied to this landmass. And Noble Drew Ali is the prophet, and we're sticking to what Noble Drew Ali said. The last people we're listening to is some people still in Pampers talking about they're going to teach us something about Moors. Like we said, the timeline is 2008. Right? The timeline is 2008. Where were these people in 2008 telling us that we're not Moorish American, we're not American, we're Moroccan? Where were they at? They're probably dumb nigger selling crack or in jail or something. Right? It's just what it is. We are Moroccans, they are American. We are the landlords, they are the tenants. Treaty of peace and friendship. Europeans are not American. Europeans are not American. Point blank, period. So who's the American? If it's not Europeans, then who's the American? Obviously, it's the Asiatics who are here that are the Americans. Because it's not Europeans. Europeans are not American. Just like Europeans are not white people. That's just what it is. Americans are the people who were discovered here by Europeans. And all those Europeans who discovered people here said that these people look like the people over there. And everybody knows Africa and America are one place. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows. So only our people are playing dumb. So only our people. No one else. Right? And then, and then these people who keep talking about international or whatever, and then when they talk about international, they start bringing up ICC and ICJ and all that. Those people are fraud too. Why are you bringing them up? Why don't you just be yourself, like Noble Ali said? Why don't you just be yourself? Everybody knows the international stuff fell into fraud after the League of Nations. There was no international body of whatever after the League of Nations. All of it is a fraud after the League of Nations. League of Nations was the last international stronghold. After League of Nations got disbanded and they started their UN stuff, that's all corporate. Why do you think these people are on here debating you about international or whatever, and they never went to the international community yet? Why they never went to why are they on here? Why don't they just go to the international community if that's where, and they know all the treaties that, so why don't you just go file some claims with the international body then? Why are you in Canaanland Moorish chat? You already have your stuff that you set up. You already have your Moroccan government that you set up and all that stuff. So what you need to be over here for? Just go to the international people and make your claim and get whatever it is that you're going to get, and then come back to the Moors with the stuff that you got and say, see, look, here we have the proof. But they can't do that. So they're a fraud. There ain't no international people listening to these people. What are they listening to them for? All the international people know that we're Moors and that our people are Negro, black, colored under colonization. And until these people wake up and come to their senses, until they wake up and come to their senses, colonization continues. Everybody knows this. Why do you think everybody's coming here? Because they know the dumb nigger's asleep and they can steal his stuff because he's asleep in the shallow grave. Still. Prophet came to these people 100 years ago. They still haven't figured it out yet. After the prophet, people came. They still haven't figured it out yet. Still haven't figured it out. All right, Moroccans are of the Mohammedan nation. Americans are the Christian nation. Americans aren't Christian. Like, that's just as simple as it is. Because Americans are not Europeans. Why you think they didn't hear Malik El at the UN? Because they're a fraud. Why would they hear him? They're a fraud. You know what'll happen? Oh, you're going through the due process, which takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. We're just getting started. Started what? You people haven't started jack. What have you started? What have you done that Noble Ali didn't do already? What have you done? What have you done? You're wearing fezzes like Drew Ali. You're using El Bay Al Ali like Drew Ali. You're starting up some Moroccan whatever, which is what the temples are, right? Because there's Moorish Science Temple, right? Didn't I just say Moorish and Moroccan are the same? Everybody knows Moroccan and Moorish is the same. As soon as you say Moorish, everybody knows that you're talking about Moroccan. There's a red flag with a green 5-point star. Isn't that the flag of Morocco? So why are you doing new stuff? Why don't you just get down with what Noble Drew Ali did if you're talking about you're going through due process? What due process? With colonists? Colonists don't have due process. No, you're not here to pass on information. You're here to troll. Because if you're here to pass on information, you would be right in line with everything that we're saying here. You would be saying honors. First thing you would have came in here and said is Islam. You come in here talking crazy. You didn't say Islam to the Moors yet. You didn't say honors to Noble Drew Ali yet. When you're pushing your Moroccan crap. As if we need to know about Moroccan something or the other. You don't need that. Drew Ali brought us everything it takes to save a nation. No, Noble Drew Ali completed the work already. Noble Drew Ali didn't set up the path. Noble Drew Ali doesn't need anybody to do anything other than what he said to do. And what Noble Drew Ali said to do is go uplift fallen humanity. That's what Drew Ali said. We already have 3 branches: belief, faith, and fruition. There's 3 branches already. There's 3 branches. What more you want? You have 3 branches: belief, faith, and fruition. If you don't want those branches, then go outside, go check a tree. I'm sure you'll find some branches out there. And if you don't want those branches, then go find a library, and they got branches. Drew Ali did everything that was supposed to be done. The problem is Moors. How was he assassinated before he could finish his works, when that's why they assassinated him, because his works was done? Fred Hampton did his works. That's why they assassinated him. El Hajj did his works. That's why they assassinated him. He didn't have works to do still. He did the work. That's why they assassinate people, because they obviously did the work. legislative, belief, executive, faith, fruition, judicial. We have 3 branches. We have people in all those sections. We have the dummies, we have the faithers, and then we have the ones who are being what they know. Right? You know TV is television? How are you a Moor and you're talking about TV? You know TV is television, right? If TV is television and you're a Moor and you're talking about TV, then what are you talking about? Well, you don't get it. They played you. They played you. It's not 3 branches, it's 3 branches. Read the chat. It's 3 branches. There's no legislative, executive, and judicial for Moors. That's European. That's not Moorish. Why do you think Moors have judicial proclamation, but we don't have legislative proclamation? And we don't have executive proclamation. Why is proclamation only judicial? Because only fruition is what matters. Fruition is all that there is. Why? Because belief is lost in faith. And in fruition, faith is lost. No, I wasn't part of the ISC. Good try. I was just a mediator. And you go ask anybody who was part of that, and they'll tell you that no, Cujo wasn't part of that because Cujo kept saying that this stuff is not going to last because all they have is fetuses in here, and nobody in here is qualified to be running any government. And where is it right now? Same place where it's been, sitting there dormant. But then we have a temple here with a building for the past 13 years, and then people don't want to support that. But they want to support some ISC crap with a bunch of pamper-wearing Moors. Honors to the Moors worldwide who've been supporting. We got something for you. Just so. We got something for you. Peace and love to all the Moors. 14th annual. Find somebody out there that's been doing something for 14 years. Canaanland Moors, Moor Science Temple of America, Moorish Family Services, Canaanland Moorish Heritage School presents the 14th annual Noble Jew Ali Day, January 6, 2024, at the United Steelworkers Hall, 25 Cecil Street, same place we did it last year. And again, we got, we're gonna get fat. You already know how we do. Serve to nourish and 5 principles cuisines. Going to be catering the event. You already know. We're going to take care of you Moors. That's been taking care of us all these years. So you can start getting your PayPals in to get on the list for the online, so you can enjoy the Noble Jew Ali Day online. That's going to be 25 notes to the PayPal, canaanlandguide@gmail.com. Everybody else, make sure you're in attendance at the temple. The Steelworkers Hall is going to be the temple for the day. So make sure you're there to be around the Moors, because if you've been there from the first annual to now, you know that Noble Drew Ali Day is one of the highlights at Canaanland. So if you're looking to get out here, January 6th is the date. We're going to be at the United Steelworkers Hall, 25 Cecil Street, once again, for the 14th annual Noble Drew Ali Day. Canaanland Moors been putting it in for Drew Ali. And this year, we have the mother Rasmariah Bey, Brother Denamel, and Brother Jose Pimenta Bey. We're looking at each of them at least getting an hour and a half to give us what we need. And you already know they've been putting in work. So honors to them for everything that they've been doing to make sure we know what's up. So honors to all the Moors worldwide. Supreme honors to Noble Drew Ali. And when you see them pulling this stuff right here, anyone in the chat, reach out to us. Why aren't they doing this on their own platform? Why they gotta come here to try to push their crack? Right? Why are they on our block pushing their crack? Why don't they go on their own block and push their crack? Right? And what happens? What happens when people go on other people's block and push crack? What happens to them? Case closed. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Give thanks to all the Moors for sending in their questions. We will that you got some answers. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. Clean swipes only. Give thanks to the chat muftis for always holding it up for Canaanland Moors and for the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the mothers. Honors to all the mothers worldwide. We recognize and realize the works that you're doing, and we're grateful for everything that you've done. Peace and love to all of the Moors, the true faithful Moors. Not the traitors and the sellouts and the quislings and the trolls who are always in our chat trying to promote something because they already know we don't go to their stuff. They already know we don't go to their stuff. So here they come in our chat trying to sell their crack. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Don't forget, it's 7:30, rvbaypublications.com. rvbaypublications.com. Go to the homepage, get all the information for the classes every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Peace and love, Moors. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam.